What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we're back working on the old Betty White Silverado. Today we're going to be installing a few parts. First, I got this SS Silverado gauge cluster. As you can see, it's got the white and black gauges, but also it has this transmission temp, so I'm going to be getting that included. Second, I got a new steering column and a new steering column bearing. The reason I got a new steering column shaft and a new bearing is because on these trucks it's a common problem. Once they get high mileage, they get a real bad rattle in the dash. As you can see, there's that bearing and there's that shaft right there. What happens is they just wear out and you get that rattling noise. And so basically what happens is they get wore out, you get that rattling noise, and every single little bump you hit, it makes that noise and it just drives you crazy. So today I'm going to be showing you how to fix that. So I don't know how much I'll be able to film since it is up way under the dash, but it's pretty simple to take out. It's just two 15mm bolts. You got one under the dash and then one right here. That's where the shaft comes out through the firewall, and it just attaches right here. You just loosen this up. Basically, you might have to put a wrench on one side and a socket on the other side or something. Pull that bolt out, and then we'll go under the dash and pull the other bolt out. All right, as you can see, I got that bolt out. It was on there pretty good, but once I got it broke loose, it wasn't too bad. So next you go under the dash, and you have basically a similar bolt that runs through right here. It's also a 15mm. So just pop that nut off and take that out, and then the shaft should be good to just slide out this way through the firewall. All right, so I was having trouble getting that getting to that nut, so I actually turned the steering wheel to the left some, and as you can see, the nuts instead of facing left to right, now it's up and down. So now the nut's facing down, and it should be pretty easy to get off. I can just put a socket on it now, and then should be able to just pop it right off. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but before you pull that shaft out, go ahead and run your seat belt through your steering wheel and lock it down. That way when you pull that shaft out, your steering wheel can't spin, because it will just be able to freely spin round and round, and you might mess up your clock spring or something. But I did finally get the old shaft out. All I did was pull that bolt out of there, and I just pulled it out this way from inside the truck, and then I just pulled that bearing off up there. Did have to kind of use a screwdriver and just kind of pry on it, get it loose. As you can see, I got the old bearing right here. It's pretty nasty. It's pretty wore out on the inside. It doesn't really turn that good anymore. Got the new one right here. It turns like really easy. Here's my old shaft and my new shaft. As you can see, the shaft itself is supposed to be able to go in and out, and this one is like completely seized up. That's probably what was causing the issue, what was causing that rattle. So put that new bearing in and put my new shaft in, and should be good to go. It has a little notch on here, and then I went under here and looked where it's supposed to go. As you can see, there's a little notch on that piece of metal. It's up on top, so I didn't really see it, but pretty sure you have to line that notch on the bearing with that, and it should slide right in. All right, now that I put it on the right way, I got it all the way on. So now I'm gonna just take my new shaft, I'm gonna feed it through the firewall, put that 15mm bolt on back right here, and then I'll put the other one on under the engine bay, and then that'll be all good to go. Alright guys, I got the new shaft ran through. I got that bolt put back in. I got the shaft connected right here, got that bolt in, got the bearing in. And I just cranked the truck up. The steering is like super stiff now. It feels brand new. It's not all loose and wobbly how it was. I turned the wheel all the way. Felt like super responsive. Really wasn't that hard of a job. It was just kind of a pain having to work up under that dash. But now that we got that all done, taken care of, About to pull this old gauge cluster out and replace it with our new Silverado SS gauge cluster. All right, so we're about to swap out this gauge cluster. Super easy. All you need is a 7mm socket with a little extension. First thing you got to do, turn your key on. You ain't got to crank it, but put it all the way down in the lowest gear. Take your steering wheel, put it down as far as you can go, and then just start pulling this bezel off. It just pops off real easy, and then pull it up and out over the steering wheel like that. Set that aside. All right, so with that bezel off, all you got is 4 7mm bolts, one in each corner. Just pull them out, and then it should slide right out. So there you go. I got the 4 bolts out, and then literally all you do is unplug this one plug from the back of it. As you can see, there's the old one and the new one. You notice the big thing, the old one doesn't have a transmission temp gauge, but this new one does. But I purchased this from a guy off eBay, and I actually sent him my VIN number and my mileage, and he was supposed to program my exact mileage into it. And with the transmission temp, it's supposed to just be plug and play. So we should just have to plug this one up. It should have my exact mileage on it, and everything should be good to go. As you can see, I just turned the key on. Seems to work fine. My mileage is there. This little screen on my old one was actually out, so now I can actually see what gear I'm in. But I'm gonna get it all put back together, and then I'll probably take it for a drive, make sure that transmission gauge works. All right, there you have it, guys. I got everything put back together. Gauges seem to be working good. Got my steering all fixed. So actually on this gauge cluster, I wanted to mention this isn't just a used gauge cluster. This is actually a fully refurbished cluster. The guy that gets them, he changes out all the motors in them, changes out all the lights in them, make sure everything works. He gets your VIN number and mileage and programs it specifically for your vehicle. So if you want to check him out or want one for your truck, I'll leave his link down in the description. Also, if you want those parts for the steering that are replaced, I'll leave those down in the description as well. So that's going to be a wrap for today's video, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If y'all did, please hit that like button. If you want to see some more content, hit the subscribe button, and have a good day.